When I think about the years I've worked with John and I have known him, I think outside of work, John is a cheerful, fun-loving, and entertaining person. And he knows how to bring people together. But on the other hand, he's also very firm, you know, in terms of getting work done.
If you look at his CV, which is may go to very many pages, I can sort of summarize it in a few words. Number one, he started off as a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology at the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology in Kenyatta. And he rose through the ranks from specialist to senior specialist to chief medical specialist in obstetrics and gynecology. And then apart from that, he was the head of department and assistant director. And apart from that, he became the deputy director of surgical services in Kenyatta National Hospital.
My really major interactions with Dr. Ongech was in primary school in Majengo. The first impression we had of him was this skinny fellow who ran very fast. So he used to do long distance running, not short distance. He was very good in cross country. And then of course he was also very good in class.
In Majengo Primary School, we were with Dr. Ongech in the same class. And Dr. Ongech was actually the smallest student in that class. And he was the brightest student in that class. He was very good in mathematics. And sometimes he used to cause us a lot of problems in class because our maths teacher would write sums on the board and ask everybody to do the sum, and the first person to finish to stop everybody. And Ongech was that first person, always. He would calculate the sum very, very quickly and say stop. The teacher would come marking the papers, and those who get it right would be asked to sit down, and those who get it wrong would remain standing. So Dr. Ongech is one of these people who used to calculate very, very quickly and ask everybody to stop. And that means even if you could answer that sum, you are not going to make it because you did not finish to the end. So you'd get your true stroke of cane for each and every sum that had been given by the teacher. Dr. Ongech actually made us have a lot of strokes of cane, especially during mathematics time.
Ongech was really a top student. In fact, he used to be top of his class, and so it was not surprising actually that eventually when he did the CPE, he emerged the top student in the school, and then of course transitioned to Usenge initially, and then later on went to Kericho, from where he joined the university now to study medicine.
It is in the year 1981 that I happened to meet Dr. Ongech when we joined Form 1 to start our secondary education at Usenge High School. When I arrived in the school, the first person I bumped into was Dr. Ongech as we were waiting to get registered. We both came from almost similar family backgrounds. So in our standard 7 level, when we did KCPE, the way I considered what I wanted to do in secondary school is what I realized Ongech also considered. He considered his financial ability and the family background. That is what triggered him to choose Usenge High School, which was a low-cost school with good performance. Our A-level, even Ongech can attest to this, was a walkover. So Ongech performed best in his school. I did best in my A-level school. It is not because of special opportunities he has gotten, but I think it's because of his go-getter kind of mentality. He goes for whatever he wants and he continues climbing. When he was leaving Kenyatta, which he left on his own volition, he was supposed to be the chief executive officer of the biggest hospital in Eastern Central Africa. That's the highest a medical practitioner can go professionally.
At the beginning, he was really involved in establishing EGPAF in Kenya. So he was part of the initial 3 people who established the foundation in Kenya and grew it from the start. By the time he was leaving, we had more than 300 health facilities in Eastern Province and Western Province under the USAID-funded AFIA 2 Eastern and AFIA 2 Western. He was able to give strategic direction towards developing the mission and the vision, looking at the global priorities, where the gap is, so that the foundation was able to find a niche around prevention of mother-to-child transmission, where we grew the program beyond that to HIV care and treatment. And as a Kenya research director, he grew the research portfolio. So actually, John began and grew the EGPAF Kenya research portfolio through, getting proposals. And some of the 2 awards I can mention is the WHO-funded award that was looking at mobile health solutions to improve reproductive health, as well as an award from Bill and Melinda Gates to improve the follow-up of children who are born to HIV-infected mothers.
As a researcher, he has worked at the University of Nairobi. He was an honorary lecturer at the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. And then apart from that, done a lot of consultancy work in different countries in Eastern Central Africa. He has been a consultant for different governments, for example, the Southern Sudan government, where he came up and produced, he was their consultant, produced the first PMTC guidelines and actually saw them being implemented in Somalia as well, not mentioning Kenya. Apart from that, he has been a consultant for very many international organizations, for UNICEF, for example, UNSAID, and so on and so forth.
I can say among the gynecologists in Nairobi, he's running one of the most successful obstetric and gynecology center at Nelson Awori House. He has many clients, he has many companies, many people who rely on his services professionally.
All our children went through Dr. Ongech's hand as the gynecologist. So he's the one who actually brought them into this world. For me, whenever it came to anything, not just gynecology, but anything medical, the starting point was always Dr. Ongech, and is still always Dr. Ongech.
So in a nutshell, I would say he is a very well-rounded, very well-centered, very well-informed consultant. To add a cap, maybe another feather to his cap, as it were, is the last appointment, which he recently got appointed as a consultant to Safaricom company, the biggest company in Eastern Central Africa. So he's going to be an advisor to the board. All these, basically, you can't get there if you don't know what you're doing. And Dr. John Ongech knows what he's doing.
He's done great contributions, like for Ogam Dispensary. He initiated Ogam Dispensary and is the patron. Ongech is a pillar for his family because he has assisted nearly all the family members who require education. Some of them are acquired doctorate degrees in America.
I've got so many friends who are medical doctors, and what Ongech actually brought them up. They look at him as the mentor, as the person, who took them to where they are today. And I would highlight what is interesting is that the current head of gynecology in Kenyatta Hospital, who's a mutual friend, Dr. Moreno Witi, was actually brought up by Dr. Ongech, to the point that she inherited Ongech's previous position.
I've looked at this book, and the theme of the book is In the Dreams of My Father. The father was very, very visionary. And in this book, what is unique is that giving is emphasized. And I can assure you that God loves a cheerful giver. His father was also a cheerful giver and is living in that dream. The first dreams about Dr. Ongech was that when he was at 11 years old, his father had a dream that he would be a great medical doctor, and it came to pass.
My name is Beatrice Odero. I'm representing the nuclear family for John Odero. On this launch of his first autobiography, I'd like to officially introduce our family. We are a family of 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. So the firstborn is Jeremy Odero, secondborn is Grace Odero, thirdborn is Humphrey Dave Odero, fourthborn is Jerry Ongech Odero, and our lastborn is Zippy Odero.
Father being the man that he is, he was quite strict and enforced values of hard work and discipline early on from childhood. Whenever we needed something, he always made sure that we would never lack for it. No matter what it was, he would always find a way to provide for us.
My name is Grace Obuya Odero. I'm the second born in the Odero family and the firstborn daughter. I'm currently in medical school in the Philippines. I go to Cebu Institute of Medicine. I'm in third year out of 4. My dad has always encouraged me to strive for my best academically. He was always there ready to be the chairman in the PTA in my primary school, in my high school, and even afforded me and paid for my fees to go study abroad in the Philippines for medical school.
The character in him is very rich, and he's a person who's determined, who has a passion, who is humorous, who is hardworking, and all these qualities that I've just mentioned and more has come out of this book in ways that is just not gonna form part of the book, but is gonna inspire even the next generations as they will be going through this book.
The book is a very moving book. It gives a story of a top professional in Africa. Many professionals fear writing about themselves. I would encourage professionals, please take courage. Daktari has shown you the way.
By reading this book, many people get inspired, see the challenges that we faced at different levels in life. And where I am today, I think I'm a happy man. I can say I have nothing to regret now. I'm very, very happy that those challenges made me who I am. There are many lessons to learn in the work, in the life, the path. You can start small, but end big, okay? You fix your eye on the prize, on the goal. So you keep going, okay? You keep going. And I'm not yet done, I'm still going. I did this book at 55, as I said. It's the age that my father retired. That's the age when people used to retire. And I feel that when you retire, you need to put it down. What is not put down, it's not done. Okay, so you can see lots of publications that I've done, they're all here listed, that have changed policy in health. There are publications that I've been involved. I've had grants from Bill and Melinda Gates. You know, I've had grants from World Health Organization to do research. National Institute of Health, the people who provide big research grants. And some of the research studies that I've done have actually changed the global health policy. You know, like one of the studies that I did when I was at EGPAF called Models of Care in the field of HIV-exposed infants, maternal child health care. That became a global standard of care in the whole world. And if you Google today, you find it was being discussed across universities in the United States, just discussing the simple research that this boy born under cocoa tree is able to bring to the entire world. People who are born in nice hospitals, which have the state-of-the-art equipment in the United States, can discuss the research done by this kind of brain. So I'm really not proud of my life. I think the story must be told. People must read and see, you know, from humility to international award-winning doctor. You know, it's a good story, a good ending. And I encourage people to read and buy. You can get it online, Amazon, just Google, you'll get the link. And you can order and it can be delivered at your doorsteps. Copies will also be available in my office. I can autograph them. And let's keep reading. Thank you very much, Professor Augustine Otieno Afolo, for inspiring me to write this book. 3 pages, in a record of 3 months. And we look forward to many professionals doing this so that we write our history, and our history should influence others to make an impact into this world.
Sure,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.